going to get the sharpness out of this camera, you're going to get the tonality, you're going to get that high ISO capability, and also you're going to get the monochrome mindset. So this very well might be the camera for you. Just a quick one, anybody that pre-ordered the little mini books, Monochrome Moments and Monochrome Portraits, those all went out a couple of days ago, so you'll be receiving your copies very soon of those. Now, they're all sold out now, I'm afraid. They were all sold out before they were even released on pre-order, so 1,000 of those have all gone out. But I have got another book coming out, and this one is highly anticipated. So this is Monochrome Portraits. This is another sold out book, but I'm doing Monochrome Portraits Volume 2, and that's in the works at the moment. So that's available for pre-order now. There's only going to be 500 of that book. They're all going to be signed and numbered, like I say. So really get on there, pre-order it very quickly, because they will sell out just like those little mini books did. So I'll leave a link in the description for my Monochrome Portraits Volume 2. So at last I have my hands on the Ricoh GR for monochrome. I was really excited when I heard that this camera was coming out, because in the main it's been Leica who are the only manufacturer that have been doing monochrome sensor cameras. Now, I've used the Ricoh GR series for many years, since the film days. Back then it was a high-end point and shoot 35mm camera, and to be honest, not much has changed. If you have been a GR user for some time, then you know nothing is going to shock you here to do with how this camera looks and feels. The only thing that I've always wished that would come back on these cameras is the little flash, and that kind of really goes into the whole point and shoot thing. It's nice to have a little flash on a point and shoot, but this isn't just a point and shoot camera, and anybody that uses GR cameras knows that this is a really powerful tool. This Ricoh GR though is even more powerful than any GR that has ever came out before. Yes, if you don't shoot black and white photography and you're not going to commit to monochrome photography, then this won't be the camera for you. But if you really are wanting to get into that mindset of monochrome photography, then this absolutely is the camera for you. My main photography is portraits and street photography, and I really wanted to put this camera through its paces for those two types of photography, just to see, does it match up to my Q3 monochrome? Does it do the same job? So I wandered around the streets of London, really testing its focusing capabilities. I was really testing the snap focus, because on the Q3 monochrome I use zone focusing, so I wanted to use its snap focus mode. Because this is a monochrome sensor camera, it doesn't matter whenever the ISO goes up higher. Now that means that on the streets you could shoot f8, f16 all day long at 500th of a second, say, and you know that ISO is going to go up, but that doesn't matter. And that means that you're going to have this really big zone of focus. That means that you're going to be able to capture moments without even using any autofocus at all. It really is like having a superpower in this small camera. This is a beautiful little camera. It is really understated, it is really stealthy, and whenever I use this on the streets, it really puts a smile on people's faces. It's funny the difference in using this and say using a bigger camera out on the streets, how people react whenever you take their photograph with it. I'm not here today to persuade anybody to shoot with a monochrome only camera. If you don't get it, if you don't understand it, that's okay. This isn't going to be the camera for you. A monochrome only sensor camera is really for those that really want to get into the mindset of only shooting monochrome, those people that want to get really good at black and white photography. It seemed obvious to me that this was going to be a really great camera for street photography, but one of the things that I wanted to see was, you know, what about in those kind of much darker situations? So I did a series called The Lonesome Underground. A lot of you will know that body of work of mine, and I shot that all on the Q2 monochrome, and I wanted to see, you know, if I came across one of those characters, would this camera be sufficient? Would it do as good a job as the Q2 monochrome or the Q3 monochrome? So I took a couple of shots on the underground, and just looking at these shots, looking at this one in particular, and this would be really the sort of thing, you know, that I would be shooting with that sort of lighting, and it really is as clear and as crisp and as sharp as those Lonesome Underground shots that I took with the Q2 monochrome. So if anybody wants to shoot shots on the underground, then you really are gonna get that from this camera. The other thing is as well, I made sure to test this camera at high ISOs, and really that noise, once it starts to appear, then it really isn't distracting. In fact, it definitely looks more like film grain than it does noise. So now that we know that this camera is definitely going to be a powerhouse for street photography, what else could it do? What else would it be really good at? Now I think that it would really be good for documentary photography as well. It's so snappy, and to have this for, you know, documentary photography would be amazing. I also think it would be fantastic for like documentary portraits and environmental portraits. Now I took many images, many portraits with the Q2 monochrome. In fact, most of my portraits are taken with the Q2 monochrome, now with the Q3 monochrome, but they were all taken with a 28mm lens, and they weren't even really documentary portraits. The first book that I ever brought out, which is fully sold out now, was Monochrome Portraits. And these portraits, pretty much 95% of these portraits in this book were all taken on a 28mm lens. They were all taken with the Q2 monochrome. And the GR for monochrome would certainly, it would do the trick for that. It wouldn't just do the trick, you know, it would exceed expectations. There is one thing though, is that you're not going to get the same amount of background blur on an APS-C sensor with a 2.8 as the maximum aperture. But does that really matter, is the question that you need to ask yourself. You know, a lot of my work is inspired by cinematography, and if you look at a lot of cinematography, they're not going for these really blurry backgrounds. They're kind of wanting as much in focus as possible. Look at Steven Spielberg and just like watch Raiders of the Lost Ark or something like that, and everything is always in focus. It would be a challenge whenever you're doing street portraits, because obviously you're going to have to really think about the background. You're not kind of just blurring it out, but it certainly would be an approach, and it would be an approach that would be different from a lot of other portrait photographers out there. There's too many photographers out there, maybe including myself, that's trying to blur that background out a lot to get that separation, rather than really thinking about the composition with the background. So you could be that person. You could be that person that uses this for street portraits. I'm going to show you some portraits now that I took with this camera. Let me know what you think. Apart from the Pentax monochrome camera that came out, I've tried every monochrome camera that there is out there, and I definitely can say that the Ricoh GR monochrome is up there with the best of them. I can't keep both of these cameras. There is literally no point, because they are doing the same job. So one of them has to go, and unfortunately it's going to have to be the GR monochrome, because I'm so used to this camera, and I don't want to have to learn a whole new way of taking photographs with this, because you know, there was a lot of things I was fiddling about with this, but just because I'm so used to the Q3 monochrome. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm going to put a list of available dates for my workshops if you want to attend. I've got them in London, Paris, Glasgow, New York. So just have a look and see if there's one that you would be able to attend, because I'd love to see you there on one of those workshops. It would be great to meet up in person. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.